One major reason why you can't achieve your goals and why you keep giving up to reach your dreams is because you're relying far too much on motivation. So the path towards achieving your goals is like climbing a very steep and high mountain. And climbing this mountain to achieve your goals and your dreams is very difficult because there's a lot of setbacks and unfavorable conditions that present themselves along the way. And if you ever hiked before out on a mountain, you know that it's very hard and it's not easy. Because climbing a mountain and trying to reach all the way to the top is very difficult, you need an inner drive or an inner fire that keeps you going and that prevents you from quitting. Now, motivation is not completely useless, as it can be the spark that propels you to start climbing up that mountain and to slowly start that journey so you can start achieving your dreams or your goals. So let's say that your goal is to get fit or to get in shape. So maybe somebody started bullying you at school because they said that you're too fat or you're too skinny. And then you look in the mirror and you absolutely hate the way that you look. And so that lights a fire in you that makes you want to start going to the gym and motivates you to start slowly climbing up that mountain. But the biggest problem with motivation is that it's like a sine wave or a sinusoidal curve, in that it rises and it falls. It rises and it falls. And it's fleeting and it's temporary. So when you're climbing a mountain, there comes a point where you reach the middle, and this is when you start to get tired and you no longer want to keep going and all your motivation is out the door. That's when you want to quit and give up the most. Let's go back to our example of trying to get fit. When the only time you can go to the gym is early in the morning before work or before school, or late at night when you'd rather be in bed, there's no longer any motivation to keep going to the gym because it's tiring. Or when you just started going to the gym and then after a couple of days your whole body starts to get sore and it hurts, you no longer want to keep going because your whole body's sore, you just want to rest. And all motivation you had before is gone now. Once all those setbacks and all the unfavorable conditions begin to roll in, you no longer have any motivation to keep going. And that's when you just want to quit and give up and start going back down the mountain. And you'd rather be complacent in that moment. And that's exactly the biggest problem with motivation, is that it's temporary. A couple of sparks can start a fire, but they won't be able to keep that fire going. In that same manner, you being bullied at school by that person who's making fun of your weight or your body, it might start motivating you to go to the gym, but it's not going to keep you going to the gym in the long run. That's exactly why you're bound to fail with motivation alone, because motivation alone is not enough. That's exactly why discipline is much more important than motivation when it comes to achieving your goals. Because discipline means having an unwavering commitment to keep going and to keep ascending that mountain and to keep persevering even when setbacks and unfavorable circumstances present themselves. And even when you want to quit, discipline is what's going to keep you going to the very end so that you can reach the top of that mountain. Discipline is the fuel that keeps that inner drive and that inner fire burning so you can keep ascending the mountain even when unfavorable circumstances and setbacks begin arising. So if we go back to our example of trying to get fit or get in shape or start going to the gym, your inner motivation might be that you got bullied in school. And so that forces you to start climbing. But that's not going to take you all the way up in the long run. Discipline, however, is what it's going to keep you going, and it's going to help you keep showing up even when you're tired, when you're sore, when you don't feel like it. It keeps you accountable to the commitment you made to be better and to improve your life and become a better version of yourself. Discipline is going to keep you accountable to the things that you said you would do. And it reminds you in the moments when you most want to quit of why you started that journey, of why you want to achieve that certain goal. And it reminds you to not give up and to keep going so you can achieve that goal. With discipline, it takes a very long time to get up that mountain, to ascend the mountain. And along the way, there's going to be ups and downs. This is because of all those setbacks and all the unfavorable circumstances that you encounter along your way on the journey. But eventually, if you're disciplined and you keep showing up, you reach the top and you accomplish your goals. And all those spots where you're experiencing setbacks and you're experiencing ups and downs, they can be super discouraging because it seems like you're only moving 1 or 2 steps at a time. But eventually, 1 or 2 steps or baby steps, they compound and eventually they become 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, and 700 steps. And eventually, you're at the top. When you keep persevering amidst those setbacks and you keep showing up through discipline, eventually you begin to see a little progress along the way. And once you start seeing more and more progress, you begin to fall in love with the process. And once you begin to see the fruits of your labor, and you accomplish your goals, you feel confident, you feel happy, you feel a sense of accomplishment in your life. That's why when you want to accomplish your goals, a little bit of motivation is necessary. But you mostly need discipline, because that's what's going to allow you to truly reach your goals and to fully ascend that mountain. Ultimately, that's exactly why Proverbs chapter 13 verse 4 says, "A sluggard's appetite is never filled, but the desires of the diligent are fully satisfied." Because it's only those that are diligent, disciplined, hardworking, consistent, and patient that will reach the top of the mountain, see success, and see their dreams become a reality. God bless, and see you at the top.